We're live. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Someone's PC. My name is Russell LaParre. With us today we have other co-founder, Someone's PC member, Dylan Bryan, and top 8 Nationals fiend who went on a day 2 amazing run, Fred Hoban. How are you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm great. Feeling good.
Good, good. We've had, 2 weeks since Nationals? 2 weekends? 3 weeks?
Feels like it's been longer.
Yeah, it really does.
Feels like it's been shorter.
I don't know. Summer's flying by for me, so
Yeah.
feels like.
So it's been a few weeks since Nationals. About 3 weeks since we've done a video. So I figured this is the best time, if any. I've done a bunch of interviews for All Day Games and Metadeck, and I think one other that I don't remember off the top of my head. And yeah, all about our placing and me getting really salty because I got 10th place when a top 8 would have put me in day 2 contention for Worlds. Yoo-hoo! So,
Damn.
I guess we'll start with Dylan because you had the shortest run. No offense, Dylan. So, how was your Worlds experience?
National series.
Nationals, holy crap! See, I got Worlds on the mind. I hate it. I hate the fact that we don't have Karen. So,
I mean, Nationals was pretty good overall. I mean, it was fun hanging out with everybody. I mean, the tournament itself, I ended up losing my winning in game with Vespi Quinn Vile Bloom. Maybe didn't go first enough. Didn't start well enough. Gotta get some tips from Fred. But overall, it was still a fun tournament. No regrets. I mean, I thought I had pretty good matchups with all the Night March and some of the Water Box decks at the top table. So I would have picked the same deck again.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then you're like you were out of the game for a bit, so coming back and just playing something comfortable would be ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I played like mostly Vespi Quinn this year. Like I took fall regionals pretty seriously and got top 4 and top 16 with Vespi Quinn, and then took a long break and then made top 8 at states with Vespi Quinn Vileplume. So bombed regionals with Trevenant. So I figured when everything else just kind of tested so, I would just stick with good old Vespi Quinn.
Yeah, I like how you neglect to mention the fact that you didn't register.
Oh yeah, we late registered, and that was a little stressful, but not. I mean, I lined up like 3 hours in advance, so like me and Franco were in line together among with a bunch of other notable players. I mean, it was never that crazy every other year. I wasn't 100% sure I was even going, so and then the
Yeah.
day. Then I find out registration closed when I tried to register 4 days early. So I guess partially my fault, but luckily it worked out. Just had to wait in line a little bit longer.
It's alright, live life on the edge. Alright, Fred, how's your nationals? Anything special besides your top 8?
No, I played Vespa Quinn Vileplume like Dylan. Probably went first a couple more times.
You guys
Played,
suck. It's so boring.
played a couple more
Golly.
night marchers. Yeah, that was probably the best part. Was just going like 6-0 against Night March, just slaughtering all these bums that wanted to come in and play Night March. But yeah, it was my first like nationals, first crazy big tournament. It was cool to see all the people, see people from around the world. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, I bet it felt good to be like first nationals, first big tourney, then you top 8 said big tourney, and you're like, what's up?
Yeah, it's like I could pretend like I'm good for the time being.
Well,
You know?
just that, and like you feel like even in this like crappy format of like lock in March and like turn
Yeah.
1, you can't get to play Pokemon. You're able to like do so well, like you're so successful for your first outing.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic because I really just scrubbed all my states. So I kind of was like, all right, standard format sucks. I'm never going to win in this format. And I like whiffed cut twice with VV during states, but I just stuck with the deck, kept testing it, and kind of found the little subtle things with the deck, the ways to win certain games that you otherwise wouldn't find, especially through Bunnelby. Just playing 2 of those opens so many more like alternative win conditions.
Solid. Yeah, I guess for me something similar. Like really, really upset I got 10th. I feel like every loss that I had, I hit those dead draw hands, or my opponent just like bursted like crazy with Night March. My other losses to Carbink, Metachan, so it's not
Did you lose to
exactly fun.
Eli?
Yeah, I lost to Eli. Game 1, I just drew garbage. Game 2, he actually played it really badly, and it just doesn't matter. Like, I Lysander 2 Reggie Rocks and just punished him over and over with Quaking Punches, but I couldn't get my final 2 prizes off of it, and then he just ended me and then proceeded to kick me twice with Metagame. So, yeah, he actually made day 2 and went pretty deep, but I think then he hit, like, a string of a Vileplume or Night March decks. He hit some, like, very, very awkward matchups, like Trevin stuff.
I played him like round 4, and game 1 I just went first and was like, all right, you lose. And then game 2, it was kind of like a long game where I Lysandered a Shaman and got like 3 Rototillers off, and it was just like I set my deck up to the point where I was just going to win.
Yeah.
I think that deck is pretty good against Night March, but he probably ran into some of the Trevenants or whatever.
Like, they still have a hard time with Pumpkaboo.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's an auto win, but I
yeah,
think the deck is definitely, that's one of the decks that Metagame targets for sure with all the focus ashes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I thought you were gonna lose because of that. Actually, when you told me you were playing Eli, you were like, "Oh, these focus ashes. Let's get Vileplume down. Who cares?"
Were you sitting next to me that game? Was that the game where like the Night Marcher played you and he had no clue he had the win in his hand?
Maybe. Oh no, is that the dude who slow rolled me?
Yeah, like he had win and he just
I wanted to flip the table. I was pretty salty that day.
But yeah, against Eli, I had no clue like Calm Mind was a thing. So I was like, all right, focus Ash. I'll just Sky Return this thing, kill it next turn.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah, he was like, all right, kill the Vespiquen, Calm Mind, and just stared at me. I was like, all right.
I was like, how much does Calm Mind heal? And then I was like, is it over 30? He's like, yeah, it's I was like, all right, shh. Next question, baby. We are here. So, how much did you take home for top 8?
1,500, yeah.
Juicy.
I didn't even know we got money for day 2. Like, after round 8, when I knew I could ID, I was walking back to, like, the venue to ID, and someone told me we get, like, $500 clinching day 2, and I just lost my shit. I was like, hell yeah, I'm ID. This is awesome.
Like, it's paid for. We're out.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Dylan almost got to that 500. And then
very close.
I got the 1K. But it'll be different at Worlds. We're going to do fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fred, you didn't make day 2 off of that top 8, right? You need finals.
Yeah, I had 300 exactly going in. So I'm at like 500.
I was in the same boat as you. I was like, yeah, I need to top 2 to get that day 2 invite.
Yeah. We just got to 300 and sat there.
Yeah. Why try any harder? I just skipped all the cities.
Alright, so moving on from this madness, Worlds.
Even more madness.
Yeah, and the lack thereof Karen.
Most likely.
The woman who's supposed to steal my heart away, you know? She's not going to be there. Potential Worlds promo is the next rumor from all the people who... their uncle works in it at TCPI and Nintendo and stuff.
I doubt it, but that would be like my favorite scenario. Be so much chaos last minute.
That'd be awesome, man. I have like 5 decks chilling that are just waiting for the Karen announcement. But Dylan, what's your most anticipated deck to see besides Night March and besides Trevenant?
Oh, those were the 2. Like I was about to say, Night
freebies. We're gonna be thinking here.
I honestly think that Night March is going to be the clear number 1 and Trevenant is like the clear number 2, like if Worlds was tomorrow, and I think everything else is like going to be pretty equally divided, at least in my mind. Like some people are trying Quad Zoric now that we got Captivating Pokepuff. Like people know that Zygarde Vileplume is at least like a semi-legitimate deck. Like Vespiquen Vileplume is still really good if you go first. Water Toolbox, some people say it's going to be dead but because of Pokemon Ranger, but we'll see whether or not that actually happens. Some of the international people had like a lot of success with Greninja, so just because it underperformed in the US doesn't mean that it's going to go away, and now it kind of doesn't have the same target it has on its back. So I think there's a lot of different stuff that has potential. I don't know, Metal might have some trouble maybe, because I feel like that deck underperformed at US Nationals. Like it wasn't able to keep up like with the Night March decks. So
no, not at all.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Metal can adjust or not, or if it just kind of like dies out.
Yeah, I feel like Night March was just consistently beating Metal at Nats, and that there was like one Metal deck day 2 and just like 30 Night Marchers. It became pretty clear that the matchup slanted in Night March's favor. I saw there were a lot of interesting fighting concepts that did well at nationals, like the Vile Plume fighting deck that Foisey and Alex Hill and all them were playing. Actually, I know Foisey he bubbled out of day 2. He was like,
so did Szymanski.
Yeah, but they were both playing. Was Szymanski playing it too?
He got 42nd, and he was playing it. I played next to him round 1, and he also wrote his article on it on Sixprizes.
Yeah.
I like their list a lot. I think the deck's solid. I had a newfound respect for it as soon as I played against it. Because like when I first looked at it, I was like, this is garbage. It's so stupid. And then I was sitting in line talking to a bunch of the Northeastern guys, and they said I wasn't giving it enough credit. And then I asked about like certain tech cards, and they're like, oh, you just play this baby Zygarde, and it answers like the Regice and a lot of other different answers. So I don't know. I think it's decent. I definitely wrote about it in my Sixprizes article because I tested for it for a couple games. And just like any other deck, it's just Vile Plume. Just lock, body him. You play 4 AZ though because you need to heal the Zygarde up, and a bunch of other things. Like some of your pokes have really big retreat costs, and you can't afford that to just sit there and get hunkered down in the early parts of the game.
Just AZing like an 190 HP Zygarde and then diamond gifting with Carbink, putting energy back on it is just. It's hard for a lot of decks to deal with while you got a Vile Plume out there.
Yeah.
That and the Metagame deck that Eli did well with. I think fighting is maybe there's a little more that could be found there, a little more playability, but I don't know. Trevenant's a problem for most of those decks.
Yeah, I'll be happy when Trev's gone. Was it 1 more month? 2 more months?
Yeah.
2 more months and we're out of here, baby.
Did you see Wambolt's thing saying he thinks Trevenant's still going to be played after rotation with the other Trevenant?
Stop.
Yeah. This is being ridiculous.
I love Wambolt. He's so dynamic. I feel like some things he says, like, spot on. He may best be Vile Plume. And I was like, I don't like this deck. And then I saw it and I was like, alright, never mind. This thing's broken. And the next day he'll, like, make another article about some stupid concept. The Kyogre deck or whatever. He said it was semi-consistent. I played with it for 5 hands against Dylan last Nationals. I was like,
it was okay.
I was like, we're not doing this. We keep drawing energy.
There were some Kyogres that made day 2.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean then? Do you mean then?
Yeah, back then. Yeah.
I this weekend, I was like, what?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Kyogre article that he wrote for last Nationals.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we tested it. We didn't think it was that great, but it's still people made day 2 with it.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I think like Wambolt is like pretty decent. I mean, you have to like test those like crazy ideas because some of them are gonna work out. Otherwise, you always find out you just kind of test the meta decks and then always be like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
No. I never discredit him for his or his mindset. Like I think he's a phenomenal player, and that's why like half the ideas that I bring up to him as well, and then he'll just sit there and like keep grilling me until I answer all his questions, and then he's like, all right, this has potential. Let's see. And like he's the one that was like, yo, Tyrantrum EX is good, or like is a promo, and I was like, yes, let's go, and then helped me the Pennsylvania Storm, the Dino Boy deck.
I just like that speed coin.
So, if you guys can think of like a potential sleeper that you think might come out or come back, because of Pokemon Ranger being released, what do you think it would be? Let's start with Fred.
Ooh. Because of Pokemon Ranger?
Well, just because of Steam Siege. Like, I think there's a little bit of potential in there, but it's not enough to release the chokehold that Night March and Trev should have on the format.
I mean, it's just kind of scary because you see Pokemon Ranger in the first deck, you think that it supplements his Night March, which is already like the best deck in the format, right?
Yeah.
So I just think it's what everybody knows it is. It's Night March and its counters, and Steam Siege doesn't really do much to counter Night March for a lot of decks. I think Zoroark gets a lot out of Pokepuff. It kind of can swing that matchup if you can build one of those YZG lists that are a lot more focused on the baby Eviltals and the Zoroarks and the Glades. Throw in some Pokepuffs to disrupt your opponent's hand. I think that could kind of swing the Night March matchup enough that it'll start seeing more play.
Yeah. But at that point, it's like it's taking over target whistle's position, and it just gets multiple instead of one. And hopefully you're going first, and you can get like a little disruption that way. But
Well, you could end them into a hand, and then they can't just hope them. They can't help themselves just not drawing the Pokemon.
You'll be surprised.
I mean, and a lot of people only play 1 or 2 N right now. It's like if you have Pokemon, you don't play them down against Zoric all the time. But then if they have Pokepuff, then they put them on your bench. And if they Sycamore them away, then you target whistle them back. I feel like if you play both target whistle and Pokepuff, you're gonna catch them at some point. You can't just say I'm never gonna have Pokemon in my hand or my discard pile. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think it opens up a lot of interactions with N, where like you'll play the Pokepuff, see their hand, and decide whether you're gonna play the N, play the Xerosic, play the Lysander, because it is an item, so you can play it before all these supporters and stuff.
The knowledge.
The
knowledge.
Yeah.
Dylan, what's yours? If you could see a deck returning because of Steam Siege, what would it be? Or like, maybe it never had potential in the first place. You know how you and I were like trying to make Altaria and Audino and all these other random stuff work. I don't see much in there. For me, it's Alakazam. So Alakazam is so good. Right?
Maybe if Garrett got printed.
Yeah, exactly. You could be March though. You can donk them.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
good luck.
You can captivating Pokepuff them. What's up?
I mean, I think it's just really the decks that I listed before. I mean, maybe Pokemon Ranger narrows the format because it makes Night March like better, and then something can take advantage of the format being narrower than Nationals. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head. If anything, Pokemon Ranger makes less decks viable rather than more decks viable because it counters like things like Giratina and Jolteon and Glaceon and Regice. And goes in the best deck Night March.
But those are whack lock decks anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Night Marches counters.
Yeah. Okay. So, have you guys play tested much for Worlds yet? No?
Mm-hmm. Very little.
Yeah, I got like a week and a half of testing in with different concepts. Just because I needed to write my article. And I was like, uh-oh, I can't just sit here and just blab it all out. I need to have
Worlds is still a month away. There's plenty of time.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. But
I feel like everyone's just waiting for us to get like the official Steam Siege scans, and then we can dive into it. Everyone's still kind of hoping that Karen's just gonna appear when they release the set. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Something to end the madness. To continue on the hate of the Night March. But jeez, what else were we gonna discuss? That, our Worlds, Nationals. Oh yeah, next format, rotation.
Ooh.
If you had to pick up cards from Steam Siege, which ones would you pick up and why? Like, or not why? Which ones do you think have the most potential, or they just look like they have the potential? I don't know if Dylan's gone over the list yet, or either of you have gone over the list. What's the next set?
I mean, I've looked at the next set, but I haven't really thought about it in terms of, like, next format and investing. Like, I mean, I was smart enough to pick up Shaman's, like, when I saw that, because I was like, this is definitely going to be a good for a long time. But other than trainers, I don't really pick up, like, EXs and stuff anymore, because I switch decks so often that I feel like I'd rather just borrow those cards or buy those cards before I need them. And maybe they go up like $5 each, but if you just buy every playable card, I spend like so much money and have like all the ECZXs that I maybe played one times or never used.
Gotcha.
So I just buy the trainer, some like obvious staple EXs.
Yeah, I've looked at the set a decent amount. I mean, I think I'm going to pick up Yan Megas and Yan Mega Breaks just because that's the kind of the type of style I play with a lot. Free retreaters, stage ones, non-EXs, that kind of cool stuff.
DC attackers or nothing attackers.
Yeah, nothing juicy. Pokepuff.
Yeah.
But the EXs the EXs and the breaks I've kind of been underwhelmed with. I know people are talking about Volcanion. I think it's without Blacksmith, Fire takes too much of a hit. And then I think Magiarna could be cute in something like Tyrantrum to protect like from Stardust and stuff, but with Ranger, like Giratina loses its potential, people will stop playing Jirachi, so the more I think about it, the less I see it in terms of playability.
Necessity. Yeah. I know Chris and I are exploring some Rainbow Road concepts with Fall Canyon, just to have the double attribute there instantly. But yeah, it's still Rainbow Road. It's still consistent until we get like a solid amount of basics to play instead of stage ones. But
it's like it'll hit a little harder and maybe get a little bit quicker, but when you kind of look at Rainbow Road and you look at the problems that it has as far as item lock, having to attach a fairy and a DC to this thing, those don't really get fixed by the dual types.
Yeah.
The damage cap wasn't the deck's biggest issue.
At any point. I think that Talonflame looks really good.
I want to play it so that...
you get to open it. Oh, you know if your opponent starts a Wobbuffet, you still get to open it?
Yeah.
There's also another ruling that someone made. I saw it on like the huge list that
I feel like most of them were common sense, but
yeah, but I don't know. People are derpy. There's a couple questions on there that were a little absurd.
I was thinking about playing it with Aerodactyl, because Aerodactyl, like, you can't play it because there's no basics you want to play, so you just throw in a bunch of Talonflames. Always start Talonflame. Always get that Omastar out in Aerodactyl. Now that you don't have to worry about Trev.
Yeah,
as long as you don't go second. Oh, you're talking about next format, not Worlds format.
Yeah.
As long as you don't go second to Trev.
Yeah, I was like item lock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You guys hear the thunder?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I hear it.
Angry. You know what
We
that
lose
is?
Russ. We know what happened.
That's Team Instinct,
Team
baby.
Instinct.
That's Team Instinct. Those yellow boys. I'm actually gonna go drive in that in a little bit. There's a
Go catch your Zapdos.
Yeah, we're gonna go Pokemon hunting. At somewhere we can just stay in the car for a little bit. Okay, it's actually been a 20-minute video, and we try to keep it a lot shorter than that, so that kind of sucked. I guess I rambled on with the whole, what are you gonna get next format? I guess to finish up, I'd say we're gonna start our Worlds testing. We should have a lot more videos coming out soon, as we just got sponsored by Ultimate Guard, so sweet, and kudos and thanks to them, because they gave us a bunch of like beast deck boxes and sleeves and binders. So we're gonna do a giveaway of the stuff that all of us here are finished taking our pick of on the Someone's PC team. And we should be doing a lot more videos just because it's a brand new year and there's a lot more friends that are coming over from Yu-Gi-Oh! That want to know more about the game, when before they felt like they had nowhere to go, and I couldn't really give them a surefire answer of what's going to be good next format, so they just felt like they were wasting their money. But Dylan, Fred, do you guys have anything left to say?
I mean, what you were saying about people coming over to the game, it's cool to see the game expanding. We just had like the biggest tournament ever in Nats, and that wasn't even how many it could have been if they let everybody who showed up play. So I mean, it's a good game. It's expanding. Everybody play.
Yeah, hopefully they get bigger venues in the future so they can accommodate all the new people that want to show up and all that.
And
not
then
have to.
And you not to have to stand in line for 3 hours.
Yeah, that would be nice as well, but I don't mind. I mean, I was just thankful I got to play. I feel even worse for the people that traveled there and didn't make it. So I hope that, like, if we get even more people than last year, like, they need to start booking bigger venues so that everybody gets a chance to play.
Actually, if you guys want to hear a juicy rumor I heard from my local PTO, apparently that was the last Nationals we're going to have. They're switching to Continentals, so it's going to be like the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Good, bring them on. I'm tired of them getting free points.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. They're 8-round points worth the exact same as our 15-round tournament? Sure.
I would not mind.
Not at all.
That means Mexico will probably move into our like invite structure too. You would assume, right?
Yeah, maybe. Are they not? Oh yeah, it's not South America, is it? Holy crap! Geography, OP.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it right now, but yeah, if they do that, it'll be like a 2,000 person tournament. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
One more round, no big deal.
That's really nothing.
Yeah. One more round, make the bubble like 801.
Yo, can I get 9th place and 10th place then? Let's go. I'm working on 11th now. But, alright. Thank you guys for being on. Thank you, Fred, for your time. Thank you, Dylan, for being awake. Let's go. I know the Pokemon Go servers are still down for the Trainer Club people, the one that signed in with that. Yeah, two of my coworkers that barely play Pokemon, like ever, when they were young, are playing now, and they're still addicted to that. So, good luck to everyone on your Pokemon Go adventures. I hope that you hatch something that has really good IVs and EVs, because apparently those are in the game. Well, not EVs, IVs. Yeah, so breaking down the point. But, alright guys, have a good one.
Thanks for having me.